In this tutorial, we'll be taking it back to the year 1993 with a classic track from the Mod 5 himself, that being none other than Paul Weller. Kicking off with the easier way to play the song, we're going to put the capo on fret number 2. I'm going to be using a variety of fairly straightforward chords. The first chord we're going to use in relation to the capo is we're going to use an A minor shape. Going from the 5th string, that becomes a B minor. The next chord we come to is F sharp minor over B, a fairly complicated sounding chord, pretty straightforward to play. All we need to do from the A minor shape is remove finger number 1 and finger number 3. And we're playing from the 5th string also. The next chord shape we have is an E minor. Now the way we're going to be playing this is like in F major triad shape. That simply put is your first finger goes on string number 1 and 2 on the 3rd fret or the fret next to the capo, and then your second finger is placed on the 3rd string on the 4th fret, 2 away from the capo, and we're going to be playing from the 4th string. The final chord we need to play is a part of the E minor family, again a complicated sounding chord, E minor 7, flat 5, pretty easy, a lot easier to play than it is to say, and that is simply from the previous chord we played, which is the E minor. We then just take our first finger and we mini bar strings 1, 2 and 3 on the 3rd fret or the fret next to the capo. We then follow on to our final chord of the progression, which is one we've done already. That is going back to the A minor shape to play the B minor chord. So the progression so far sounds like this. The strum pattern now used for this song uses the form of down, 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 up, up, down, up, down, up. Now when you come to the E minor and the E minor 7 chord, you can just simply do 2 down strums for each chord. And as you're starting out, and then progress on to something a bit more advanced. To help with today's tutorial and to help with your progression, I put together a chord and tab sheet for free. All you need to do is go to the description down below, click on the link and practice to your heart's content. Now if you didn't have a capo or capo and you wanted to play it in the same key, we can use similar chords throughout. There's a couple of slight variations. The first chord's the same. We're using our bar finger instead of the capo. We put our first finger on the 2nd fret, and this is forming the B minor shape. We then have our next chord, which is F sharp minor over B. All we need to do is remove our 2nd finger and our 4th finger, which is our pinky. We then play an E minor shape, a standard E minor shape, but you're also going to fret strings 1 and 2 on the 3rd fret using fingers 3 and 4, playing from the top string. And to bring in our E minor 7, flat 5, we then move our 3rd finger down to the 3rd fret, 3rd string, and our 1st finger comes to the 4th string, 2nd fret, playing from the 4th string. Now using a 4-barred chord progression, it's really important to keep in mind. You'll begin on a B minor and end on a B minor. The only time that this doesn't happen in the song is the outro, where we go from the B minor to the E minor to the E minor 7, and then we go back to the B minor once, and then repeat again. For example, so now it's over to you. Don't be shy. Let me know in the comments what's your favourite song by Paul Weller, The Style Council, or The Jam.